what's going on, viewer? How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Today I have for you a speed paint, right? But it's not like a traditional speed paint like how they did it in the old days, you know? Just the speed paint, just some good music, using paint tool side. But I'm literally yapping over this video, which I think is the distinguishing difference here between today and 2010. And I feel like most art YouTubers do this these days. They do the yapping speed paints because people don't want to just sit and watch a speed paint just for it to be a speed paint these days, I feel. Like, they have busy lives and they have other shit to do, and they just kind of want something that they maybe could put on in the background. It just kind of feels like the world is moving 10 times faster than it did 10 years ago, or maybe 15 years ago at this point. It makes me wonder how fast we'll be moving in like 2035, for example. And I'm not judging people that do that, because I definitely do that too. I am definitely the type to love to just put on a little chatty speed paint video and just listen to the artist talk about their process, and maybe I'll check in here and there and see how the art is doing while I go off and do something else. So I'm definitely not judging you if you're doing that right now. In fact, I hope that whatever you're doing in the background is going well, and thank you for clicking on this video in particular out of the literal millions of options you have. Basically, I'm just saying times have changed. If you like speed paints just to watch the process and don't enjoy the extra babbling, do let me know if you miss that kind of vibe, because I would love to bring that vibe back to this channel if I can. Maybe periodically or something. I have seen those videos that you can literally watch the artist like drawing on their iPad or tablet or something, and you can like hear the little tapping sounds. That's very relaxing too. I love that. So let me know if I should stop the yap. It would be cool to give that Y2K speed paint vibe on this channel, but it's also kind of nice chatting with you guys. For the past like week or month or so, me and my friends have all been just addicted to Uma Musume. Whenever I'm not playing Uma Musume, I'm thinking about Uma Musume, and I will talk more about that in a future speed paint. But for today, we're drawing Hatsune Miku. For the past week, me and my friends have been making a what they call mega thread, which is basically just like building a website but on GitHub for the preservation purposes of a multiplayer Project Diva fan game for the PC. I know that's kind of a mouthful, and maybe you have no clue what I'm talking about, maybe you do. So we're putting it on GitHub, right? And I've never been like a STEM girly, honestly. I've never been like a tech savvy person, to be honest. Not like I don't know how to like navigate a computer, but when you get into the ins and outs of like how like coding and like how computers actually work, that's where my brain kind of tends to shut off. But I have been learning coding a little bit this year. That's strictly because I enjoy like the visual art side of web development. I think making your own website is really cool, so I wanted to use those skills for something that could actually potentially be useful in making this preservation mega thread for this game that I really love. That is like super old. It's from like 2012 is when it originally came out, and like some people are still playing it today, but not really that many people, so it's actually kind of really sad. When it comes to Project Diva modding, that is a Vocaloid rhythm game, by the way, but yeah, when it comes to Project Diva modding, most players these days, since Project Diva was released officially for the PC, most players are playing like a modded version of the PC port, but that version doesn't have multiplayer and all of these cool like fan-made features that the fan-made game has. It's called PPD, so I'll be referring to it like that for the rest of the video. We're just like making this mega thread because realistically, we don't know like when Discord is going to just like shit itself and like get eaten or something, or like disappear entirely. And literally like a decade's worth of resources for this fan game is just on this Discord. And if for some reason Discord were to be destroyed, all of those fan-made resources and time would just be lost, and it would all become lost media. So to prevent that, we're making this mega thread of resources for the game, compiling all the stuff that the community has put together for the game for like the past decade. So yeah, it's a bit of a project, but I'm really enjoying it, and I feel like it's for a good cause. You know what I mean? GitHub is a little bit confusing for me, but I'm slowly getting more used to it-ish. We're putting a lot of effort into it. Like, I want to make it like nice and pretty and readable and easy to navigate, because people seem to really have trouble like putting up and setting up the game, because there's a lot of people playing the modded version of Megamix Plus, which is Project Diva on PC. That means that I have been missing out on a few goated songs that people put into that game, such as Hot to Go, Busy Woman, Good Graces, Espresso, just to name a few, and that is so tragic. I do have the Megamix Plus plus PC game, but I just want to be able to play these girly pop nation songs with my friends on multiplayer, and that would have been possible if those songs were on PPD, but they are not. So I am not able to activate that goated era of my life right now because people do not play multiplayer Project Diva when they could be. So my question is, do people just prefer playing this game alone, I guess? Like, I do like playing alone sometimes too, but sometimes, you know, once you get pretty good at the game, like to increase the longevity of your experience, I would say competing is like really fun. The spirit of competition and like jamming to the music together is really enjoyable. I think that people should do that more, honestly. If you've been subbed to this channel for a while, maybe you know that I used to make my own modded Project Diva charts and like post them here. And I still post them if I ever make them, but they are unlisted. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. It's a very tedious and like not very rewarding experience to make songs for a dead rhythm game, because you're not sure if even a single person is going to play that at the end of the day. So at that point, you really just have to make it for yourself and maybe beg your friends to play it with you. If you're lucky, they'll say yes. But it really doesn't have to be that way, you know what I mean? Although it would be like a lot easier for that to happen if the fan game itself wasn't so difficult to set up. So yeah, it's notorious for being buggy and crashing a lot if you so much as look at it weird, but it's still goated to me because you can play Project Diva with your friends in real time, and also not real time too. Like there's literally a feature that lets you set people as rivals so you can like see their scores like all the time as you play a song, so you can like be motivated to beat them. And that's why we've all like worked really hard as a community to try to put together these written and video guides for the game and compile them all into this mega thread. So yeah, this is Miku for that site, and this Miku, like, oh my god, she took like a whole week to finish, right? And that was really frustrating to me because after Art Fight, I had just been feeling really motivated, feeling like I can make a rendered art piece in like one day. I'm kind of cracked. But then like I do this Miku and like it just doesn't happen. I go back to having to take a long time to finish art when I just want to be faster, but at the same time I also want my art to like be in a very like specific style and have a very specific look to it. And there's a lot of different styles that I like. So at the end of the day, I think all of those styles are going to like join together to become my style, but I just don't want it to look weird, man. I want it to look right. Like I want it to look like the art that I really like from like the 2000s and early 2010s growing up. So it just feels like bit by bit we're like getting there. It's just kind of frustrating when you look at your art and you're like, okay, this is literally almost there, but it's not quite what you want it to be, you know what I mean? So going forward with the new art pieces that I'm going to make, I need to like really try to go into it with, I guess, like a, I don't know, like a plan to try to make it really have the look that I want it to have. This Miku piece, I really liked how I experimented with my rendering a little bit. Like the way that I'm coloring it is like very different from how I usually color pieces. It's like very like painter-y. It's not as cel shaded as a lot of my other works are. I've also been playing Date Everything. I'm a little late to that party, but yeah, I'm kind of loving Hector so far, but I'm not that far into the game, so don't spoil me too much, okay? But I'm really enjoying it. I also really love Betty. Let's get into a question of the day for you guys. Yesterday I went to a self-serve boba slash build your own boba spot, and I wanted to know what your guys' opinion of those places are, because I was slightly skeptical of it. I am not gonna lie, because I walk in there and they have the boba milk tea in like plastic tubs that you can just like pour yourself, and it kind of looks like the boba and the milk in the milk tea had been like sitting in there for a hot minute, and it's like really hot where I am too, so that's like a little bit concerning to me. I don't know, like also when I sampled it, it tasted a little like soapy, which I heard is something that can happen if, you know, the plastic tubs that they serve them in aren't like washed properly, or they're washed so much that like the soap residue comes off and it literally makes your boba taste like soap, and that's kind of bad in my humble opinion. So I didn't get any boba. Another silly thing that happened this week. For a long time, I've been following this artist that I super love. Their Vocaloid art, and I love the way that they draw like humans, and I just love their art style so much. And their art is really good. But they also happen to post Camp Laszlo Yaoi quite often. Really well drawn Camp Laszlo Yaoi at that. So sometimes my eyes are subjected to it against my will, but I put up with it because I love their art that much. I think I'll leave you guys with that. Thank you so much for watching this week's Speedpaint. Have a lovely weekend, everyone. Rest well. Bye bye.